Whoa, are you telling me a character in an anime just made a logical conclusion to a person's identity and it wasn't a misunderstanding? Recovery of an MMO Junkie gets my pass. Like, this is a certified good series. Automatically certified good series. I already loved it for obvious reasons I've been talking about, but just for the fact alone that the main male character was able to logically figure out who the character in the game was and realize it was a person that he's starting to develop feelings for makes me happy. Because you don't know how many times I have read series like this where it's a misunderstanding. Like, okay, I'm not pointing fingers at gamers from last season. Gamers had its own little quirk and quality to it that I really enjoyed. I'm not pointing fingers at gamers. I'm just saying, in general, when it comes to romance, there's just so many series I have read or watched like this, to where a character is getting close to figuring it out, but then it's like, nah, it can't be. And then just goes against all logic. And I'm like, are you serious right now? It makes me so angry and upset and all that. And it's sometimes why I don't really like continuing reading or watching a series, because of just how stupid it is, because that's just not how people are. In general, that's not. If you're starting to get these suspicions and all that, they don't just go away. They stay there. And I really like how the setting of this series makes so much sense with the logical outcome. And let me explain why. Our characters are adults. They're adults, okay? I mean, yes, they're playing games, MMOs, and I'm 22, I play MMOs, so, I mean, obviously adults play games too. Just, you know, spoiler alert. But basically, seeing how these adults act like adults in some ways, and how their interactions are with each other, and how they're logically able to figure something out, makes me truly happy. This is nice to see from an anime for a change. I mean, to see that he was able to figure out who Morty was, it's like, oh my, this is the person that I want to get in contact with. I was just happy. And they're acting like adults. They're adults. They have jobs, and they're actually acting like adults. There's not melodrama. There isn't stuff that's just being spread thin just to slow down the plot. And look at a lot of series I've kind of talked about this year. Just many things introduced just to slow down the plot, the romance progression, whatever. I'm just so happy that was done. Just job well done of recovery of an MMO Junkie. Just job well done. You did a very good episode. Like, this was just good writing, good animated episode. Just overall, I was just truly pleased with this series. So anyways, let me get right into it. So, Mori. Oh man, do I love her. I truly love her so much. She's just growing on me. I don't know what it is, but this season has a lot of good waifus. I mean, we have, you know, Chise from, you know, Magus, and then we have Mori from this series, Recovery, and I've noticed something. I never noticed this before, but I think I'm getting a little bit of a liking towards characters with a little bit of bags under their eyes. I don't know why, but I really like that little design. May explain why I like Watamote so much. That might explain why, but I don't know. It's a character trait I really like for some reason. I'm glad that there's at least 2 characters from this season that kind of have that as a permanent thing, and it adds a little bit of pizzazz to the character. I don't know, fluff that I truly enjoy. Just Mori is just so cute. But, okay, so this episode basically dives straight into, like, loot boxes, DLC, and it's something that, honestly, I have encountered very recently, and I guess this is very relatable to me. I mean, it was already a very relatable series, but the loot boxes and what people spend to get certain things, cosmetics and all that, it's me. It's legit me. Now, I'm not someone that plays mobile games and spends money on cosmetics. No, I don't do that. I don't play mobile games. But there is games that have loot boxes that I do spend money on. For instance, a recent example is Smite or Fortnite. There's a game called Smite on Xbox, which I've talked about a lot, so I think you guys already know about that. But they have these character skins and stuff you can buy for a limited time and all that, and I'm a sucker for this. I really love certain skins, and I just buy until I get what I want. And when I saw that Lily in this episode basically say, oh, of course I'll get what I want, I'm like, that's me. That's exactly me. The type of person that will continuously go for it till they get what they want. And I'm like, that is straight up me. And I found it very funny as well of how, like, certain things are done, like how people will go so far to get, you know, certain skins, or they will not talk about, you know, hey, let me get lucky, because there's, like, some form of curse. Because I know for a fact that even though this series mentioned it, I have actually thought of that once before. Have any of you that are gamers out there, because I know many of you Chibits out there that do play games, are there many of you out there that, you know, let's say play games, and there's, like, some form of loot boxes, loot crates, or whatever, and you want this certain skin, or this weapon skin, character design, or whatever, something, okay? Just something in the loot box, you want it really badly, and you're like, I really want this, but then you start talking to your friends like, hey, I hope I get lucky, hopefully, you know, this $5 I'm about to put down, or $10, I get what I want, and as soon as you say that, automatically, you mess yourself up, because you're not going to get it. Because as soon as you say that, it's like, all luck, lady luck just goes completely against you, and you're not going to get what you want. You're not. You're gonna have to spin and spin and spin until you get what you want. And that is basically how relatable this was to me, because that's happened to me, honestly. When I wanted something, I was like, I want to get this, and then I don't get it, and it's like the last thing I get out of, like, a chest, I'm like, this... really, like, it feels like, you know, the world was against me in that moment. It's at that moment when they were talking about, you know, the greed and stuff, the green, like, the greed, like, meter or whatever, or cents, I'm like, that's me, relatable, and many of my friends I'll play with as well that play, like, you know, Smite and stuff, same thing happens to them, it's just very funny. Also, World of Warcraft as well, I play, it's just, overall, relatable episode. So, anyways, that was a really nice little tidbit from this episode I enjoyed. I don't know how many of you would necessarily care about that overall, because I know there is many out there that don't play games like I play. For instance, play games with, like, loot boxes and stuff, or microtransactions, which microtransactions is entirely different combo entirely. I mean, there's so many issues with microtransactions depending on the context of it, but I'm not going to be talking about that. But basically, I know many out there might not care about this episode, or even care about the parts I cared about, because they might not relate to them at all, but if you could relate to some of these scenes, you most likely understand why I enjoyed this episode. Anyways, getting off of that, let's talk about how some of these characters, obviously, in the guild that, you know, Morty is part of, they know each other in real life. The cash register dude, it's obvious that that's probably the guild leader. The green hair and all that just sets it off right there. And then it's obvious that, you know, well, actually, it was basically told to us, but the girl, you know, I don't know her exact name or how to pronounce it, but basically the girl with the cat ears and all that got the outfit and all that, and then she changed back to her old stuff after she already bought the stuff out of the loot boxes. Well, it's obvious that she's also a girl in real life, and we got to see her. So I wonder if there's going to be any build-up, like romance build-up with her, with the main guild master, because there obviously is something going on between those two in terms of, like, romance build-up in this episode. So I wonder if that was, you know, going to happen, or if that will happen in this series. But anyways, though, next week is looking very hype, because we're going to have Morty meeting up with someone that's been crushing on her Lily-chan. I'm excited. I'm truly excited to see how it's going to go down, and see if there's not going to be a misunderstanding. I truly hope there's not. Please don't do this to me, anime. Like, I've already praised you at the beginning of this episode. Please make sure it's not a misunderstanding. I would really appreciate it if it just... we got to see at the start of romance. And I mean, this series is called Recovery of an MMO Junkie. So obviously there has to be some form of recovery. So I would really like it if she did get to start a, you know, relationship with the man. It would be very nice to see. So anyways, yeah, I want to end it there. I mean, this episode was incredibly simple. Nothing really crazy going on overall, but it was a truly enjoyable episode, and I had a lot of fun. It's definitely one of those shows I really love to end the day off of with. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, how you felt about the latest episode. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? And if you enjoyed my content, please subscribe. And if you like this video, please leave a like. Love you guys. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.